Hey y'all, how's it going? Just got back from the gym and I wanted to post this video so that no one thinks that I'm advocating that getting more muscular and strong or whatever is gonna help your precision rifle shooting. I'm not advocating that. I am advocating that it will not hurt you. So when you're in a situation like I am, I live in Jacksonville Beach, Florida. People surf here. They don't shoot rifles typically, but I love to shoot. So it's either move to a different part of the country or just do what I can, drive to get to a range. So for me, during competition season, hopefully I can get to the range once a week at the most, maybe twice. Normally it's about once. The rest is just whatever I can do. And even when I do get to the range, our 1,000-yard range, it's kind of a lane, not a lot of wind to practice. There's not like a big swath of land where you have a lot of distance between the targets and can actually run stages. So you just, do what you can. And one of the things that I can do is do some, obviously lots of dry fire or cross training. And it certainly can't hurt. Like I was saying, some of the best shooters, they know who they are. Some are very little guys. Some are just flat out of shape, and they would tell you that too, but they can still shoot lights out. So what I'm more advocating is that wherever you are, gaining a little bit of strength to carry that heavy rifle around and not injure yourself, flexibility and cardiovascular endurance, and really recovery rate, being able to get your heart rate from being up, like say running up the Connex, and then being able to drop and have your heart rate drop right back down. It cannot hurt. So if you don't have time to be on the range, typically most people's gyms are either in their house or only a few minutes away. You can do that. So I'm gonna show you a few things that I do that I think will certainly help you out. I know it's helped me. Okay, so a couple things. If you're the type of person that puts the rifle kind of towards your collarbone, and if you notice that, if you shoot heavier recoiling rounds, that it's starting to give you a little bit of discomfort, well, obviously adding mass here is going to give you a little bit more cushion. I mean, you could add fat there, I suppose, but it's kind of hard to get that in this area. Adding muscle mass is a little bit easier, so you could go do that. What I'm going to talk about right now is really just your shoulder and your rotator cuff. Most people don't even know what a rotator cuff is until they injure one. I had heard of it, but I knew until I got a pretty severe impingement on mine after separating my AC joint. I didn't know what it was. So anyway, what happens is your deltoid, your shoulder muscle, is essentially, as long as it's intact, is holding your arm up in place. But let's say if you remove your deltoid, what's responsible for holding your humerus bone up into the shoulder socket, or that joint essentially, are muscles that come from behind on your scapula, and there's 4 of them, and they come up through and they attach in some way, shape, or form, without getting more anatomically correct, into your upper humerus bone, and they hold your arm in place. So if you can strengthen those, remember they're not active, your deltoid is, but that means when you're relaxed, it's going to be less likely, it's going to give you some added stability in your shoulder, make you less likely to get injured, and help you also control the gun. So a couple really, really good exercises in the warm-up is just rotations. And what I'm going to do, you can do very light weights. Just basically hold your elbow in to your body as close as you can, and just rotate this in and out. And I would definitely use light weights for this. Now you want to get it to where you start feeling blood pumping, okay? And you want what we call external rotation. So really I'm trying to rotate that out as far as I can without, the key is without picking up your elbow. So just like this. And so that you do it evenly, you can take 2 dumbbells or just do the even amount on both sides. This one works really, really well. Cool, easy enough. Okay, this one is one of my favorites for either repairing something injured, rotator cuff, or adding strength again to the rotator cuff. Remember, you can't do it by engaging your deltoid. It doesn't work. So an easy way to do it is if you have one of these bands, just tie it to something stable. Maybe something like this. Okay. I can just pass that through and then get some tension on it. And then what you want to do is keep your arm like your elbow tight to your side. A lot of people will put a towel in there and then just externally rotate like this. See from this view, I'll just hold it like this, okay? Externally rotating, you don't want to go like that. Try to keep your deltoid completely disengaged and rotate to the outside. I mean, there's better videos of people doing this that you can search for. I'm just kind of putting it all together for you. Okay, now this exercise sucks. It's a stretch. I'm not gonna tell you that it doesn't suck. It just sucks. But it's really good for opening up your hip flexors, evening out any imbalances that you have, because most people do. It'll help your lower back. And when you go prone, it's gonna allow you to get your feet flat a lot easier, because it's gonna open this whole area up, and it's just a good general stretching exercise, but it does suck. But the idea basically is what you're gonna do is you're gonna put a knee down, let's say for instance, like I have, so I'll get into this way. I have this foot straight up, and what I'm gonna do is put my knee straight down. Typically you wanna get against a wall or a flat surface. We're in a new house, so I'd get in trouble if I put my feet up against the wall. So what I'm gonna do is put my foot just up against this. So what I'm gonna do, so if you can see, my foot is all the way up here touching my butt, and my knee is straight down touching the ground. Opposite foot comes forward. I use the ball to push against it, and I try to get completely straight up. It'll take you a while if you haven't done this to get to this position. You might only get to here, and just gradually work that position. Try to get absolutely straight. Sometimes you can even like reach up, but you want to get this hip flexor stretched out as much as you possibly can. And of course, we repeat. Really, really helps. Like, you have to dive down into prone or get into a squatting position, and then getting out of it, you're gonna be less likely to injure yourself, especially for guys my age. All you 20-year-olds probably don't have to worry about it too much. Like I said, when you first start this one, it isn't fun. And then you repeat the opposite way. So to reiterate, the only thing that makes you a better shooter is going and shooting. Hopefully shoot with guys who are maybe on the same level or better than you. Also helps. That's what I've been fortunate enough to do. Got hooked up with some of the better guys and just basically watched them do what they do. You know, but I'm a very, very strong advocate for cross training on anything that you do. Especially if you don't have time to get to the range. And so along with the strength training, probably even more important, flexibility and cardio. Any cardio that you can do. I like to do, a lot of people don't like LSAs. I like LSA combined with plyo. Anything that I can do to improve my cardio in any way. Walk sprints, and then I also like to use biofeedback, basically something where you know what your heart rate is, and then what you can do is work on getting up to your max heart rate, and And then the trick is trying to get it down as fast as you can, so your recovery time. The more cardio you do in general though, it's just generally gonna lower your resting heart rate, and also allow you to recover much faster. So again, you'll be able to do sprints, jump on the gun, and your heart rate's gonna drop faster than the guys who aren't doing that. Like I said, carrying the rifle around, just rucking that thing will get your heart rate up. But you know, as soon as you put your pack down, if you got a minute, a lot of times, if your cardio is really good, your heart rate will be back down to resting.